Hello everybody, Star Baby Homestead here. I know I haven't posted in a while, and it's because life has been particularly busy. And also I did have a video for I think late summer, but I didn't post it because you guys, summer was awful. It was constantly just drought and hot. And when it wasn't 100 degrees, it was raining. So my garden for the summer was a complete mess. I didn't even want to post the video that I had because all it seemed like I was doing was complaining. If it wasn't pests, my seedlings would get burnt, As soon as I put them out, they couldn't stand the heat. And that was even after them being hardened off. By the time I brought them out to the garden, they would just die. I've been using covers. Everything was covered for such a long time. And it's completely overgrown with weeds. You're going to see a lot of cardboard down. You guys know I do no dig, but the grass has just taken over. The Bermuda grass and the crabgrass has just taken over. And I know I mentioned it before that we are going to be working on a project to probably lay down either just some sort of black padding or something where it's easy on my knees when I bend down or whatnot, or it's going to be pebbles. So all I have to worry about is just the occasional weed that pops up every now and then. But we still work full time, and honestly, I just don't have time to pull weeds constantly. It's like maybe if I was retired, but if you work full time and you're an avid gardener and you grow your own food and you're homesteading, you understand that it can become exhausting. It's like you're working two jobs, and honestly, I just did not have the energy. I kind of threw my hands up at one point, and I had to go and rebuy pretty much all of my brassicas because the cabbage, they survived, but just horrible accidents, like accidentally mixing up pesticides and herbicides. So I ended up like spraying some of my cabbages with weed killer. Ridiculous, right? And I had to end up going out and I bought some Brussels sprouts. I didn't buy any more cabbage because I still had some early varieties from seed that made it. My cauliflower was a bust. I have a couple of broccoli plants. But anyway, let's get on with the tour. It is November the 6th, I think. So early fall tour. Or mid-fall, whatever you want to think about it. So I feel a little bit better about showing you this. So, all right, let's get started. So, as you can see, I still have watermelons. This is the second crop of watermelons. We've already pulled one. They're smaller. So, here's my hand. So, you guys already saw the gigantic ones, the 2-footers that we grew. And these were just the second wave, and I was actually going to pull my watermelon plants because, as you can see, they're pretty much dead. But when we opened up one of these watermelons, it was sweet and delicious on the inside, even though they're not as big. So instead of buying a personal size, which I may do that next season, is just do smaller watermelons. I still love growing big watermelons. It makes me incredibly happy. So this one is definitely ready. I think this one is too. I don't want them to be overripe, but so far so good. So just so that you know, if you leave your watermelon, maybe trim them, prune them a little bit so that they're not all over the place. You'll end up with more watermelons, especially if you live in a temperate climate. We are zone 8 B, I believe. So I just covered everything from the frost, and this is what we have. And I don't think this one over here is gonna make it. The vine around it looks pretty dead, but again, I thought these were going to be petrified on the inside, and they were absolutely delicious. So good to know. So in November, we are eating watermelons. All right, so here's our salad plot. These are turnips. And you guys, I sowed them super heavy. I sowed them really heavy. Let's see what we got going on down in here. We have, let's see, I think a few turnips that are starting to, they're long though. I can't really get a good angle because there's so many, but definitely have greens. I tried to thin these out a little bit. Okay, there's some turnips, right? Tried to thin this out just a little bit. So there's a few here. And the greens are delicious. My lettuce game was not great. I had a hard time growing lettuce. These are white radishes, but I just kind of scattered. I even scattered lettuce seed all in this bed, and only these few grew. And a couple of these oak leaf types right here. And the rest, like even my red sales that are so very reliable, did nothing. Now, I ordered these from Seeds and Such, and oh gosh, I can't remember the name. They're crimson something, but they are finally starting to grow. But you guys, just amazing how I've had to buy lettuce. I've never had to buy lettuce because I've always had so many and so much. It was always so plentiful. And then these giant arugula plants just came out of nowhere. I have no idea where they came from. I didn't plant arugula down here, so I don't know. I absolutely have no idea, but I've been eating these and they are absolutely delicious. In fact, I ordered some because the arugula that I had was very spindly and small, and these plants are ginormous. I just kind of whack them off at the base and they grow back. I did that with this plant, as you can see, but so good. I've given some to neighbors and I've been eating it for salad. I finally got spinach to grow. I've never been able to grow spinach. So maybe I got the timing down correctly. Got some more seedlings coming up here. But yeah, spinach. I haven't been able to grow any the entire time. So there's just weirdness. No lettuce except for in the fall. I had none during spring and I had almost none during summer. And then carrots are right here. And that's the second planting because I've had a problem with my carrots coming up. So my salad bed has been kind of blah for the spring and for the summer. So I'm hoping, you know, it looks like everything is enjoying the cooler weather that we're getting here in the fall. I'm just so happy that I grew spinach. You guys, it's impossible. So moving along, yeah, by the way, let me know what difficulties have you been experiencing? Are you having problems growing things that are easy to grow? Like lettuce is some of the easiest thing that you could possibly throw. You can just scatter the seeds and yet nothing. I think the seeds that germinated are going to grow. Maybe they're still in there and they're just going to grow for fall. At this point, I don't know if it's weeds or if it's lettuce. It's just... So, okay. Here we have yellow beets. This is the second planting. The first planting never came up. It just never came up. And they are in a bed with these early beefsteak tomatoes. And I've already protected them from the frost that came through. At least I think it was a frost. I don't think it's gotten down to freezing yet. There is a little frost damage, I think, on top here where it's brown. But they're bush types, so I don't think I need to stake them, but no tomatoes. And I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get any. Tomatoes, I think I got a couple of them. It was not a great year for tomatoes either. more salad tomatoes, of course. Cherry tomatoes are just a constant. But I haven't been able to get really, my green giants didn't really do all that great. So I've been, the whole tomato thing was not great either this year. So we'll see what these guys do. I'm going to keep protecting them. I cover them up with this fleece and then a tarp for the evenings where the temperatures get really cold. So maybe we'll get some tomatoes, maybe not. There's been flowers, and there's plenty of flowers, but nothing's come of them. My strawberry bed is, I know, don't judge me. It looks terrible. But I'm going to have to go through. They're all dormant at this point, dormant or dead. I hope they're not dead. But I just need to clean out and pull weeds and get some fertilizer worked in here. And yeah, just prepare them for the winter. And hopefully, you know, try to get a rein on how many I had during the spring, which this bed was crazy full. You saw the videos. So I'm gonna get onto that. Again, I haven't had time, and it's been just so hot. All right, let's go back over here. So here are my rutabagas. I've had to plant these numerous times because I killed some of my seedlings. And I've got some aluminum foil here. You might have hear it crackling. There's a cutworm in one of my beds, and I'm gonna have to put some aluminum foil around the base of the plants. It's one of my collard greens. I've never grown collards, and I actually thought that I got cabbage, but I ended up with collards. So, you guys, it has been just a series of unfortunate events and just bumbling. I've just been bumbling. But anyway, here are the rutabagas. And they're growing a little bit slow. So, don't know about that. Brussels sprouts are over here. Had to go ahead and buy those. And I've got one cabbage. Look at all the bees. They love this basil. I've got basil plants everywhere in an attempt to, you know, deter pests. So, but I still have only one Savoy cabbage right here. It's the only one that survived. So next to that, we've got our parsnips. Now remember, I did a video on it was full of monarch butterfly caterpillars, and they munched all the greens down, and the greens just came back. So if you want to be a butterfly mama or daddy and just take care of having some pollinators, then just, you know, they're not doing so much damage. So let them eat, cover them up, let them hatch, and they'll take care of you. But it's wonderful when your garden is just full of butterflies. So my eggplant have been so prolific that I'm tired of giving them to people. They're tired of me giving them eggplant. And yeah, I just have a gajillion of them. This is the Antigua eggplant. And I've just stopped pulling them because we've had our fill. And I honestly don't think they freeze well. I don't care what all of the recipes call for and how you can blanch them and yada yada. Eggplant tastes good when they're fresh, and it's just that plain and simple. And once they get overripe, they're seedy. And I mean, baba ganoush, if you make that, it does not keep in the refrigerator all that long. And we need stuff that's going to keep. So it's almost impossible to grow one eggplant plant. But I'm going to try it. Next year, I'm going to grow one type, and that's going to be white eggplant. And it's going to be one plant that I'm probably going to put in a pot, because it's just so much. Kale is doing well. Right now we have a Luciano over here. Here's our grapevine. It's slowly dropping its leaves. It's spread out really wide, as you can see. So I'm going to have to do some pruning once I figure out how to how to do that again. More basil. I didn't plant any of this basil. It just reseeded itself. More kale. I got the last of the cucumbers that were here. And now, right here, I've got peas, sweet peas, sugar snaps. And they're starting to flower. They love this cool weather. So we've been enjoying those. So let me show you here. So this is where the cutworm cut the top off of my collard green. Let me put this foil down. So I'm gonna go through. I couldn't find it. I don't know where it is. And I'm gonna go through and put foil along the base of these. Over here is the last of our green beans. I think it's gotten too cold. They're still putting out flowers, which is good. So I might keep them a little while longer. And then in between that is my poor sad broccoli. So there's one broccoli. There's another one. And then there's a small one over there. Not great on the broccoli end. Cauliflower's all gone. So let's see. Over here, this is where all the cabbage are. So only one of my Dutch head made it. This big one right here. That's a Dutch head. And the rest are Katarina. And these are early and they're smaller. So they take up less space. About a foot around. So actually, I think I have 3 Dutch in here. Those are the ones that are spreading out and taking up a lot of room. And I think I have 1 broccoli over here. This sad excuse for a plant. Now here, I've got my Japanese, I can't think of them, what? Akura. Okay, spit it out. Spring onions. They get really big, guys, but that's great because you can use them in soups, you can chop them up, you can freeze them, use them in stock. I planted way more than we need because we use a lot of these. Also over here, I have more of those spring onions. I kind of did overkill. There's some radishes in between. Some yellow onions that somehow made their way. I think they just put a whole bunch of seeds in the pack, and then when I planted them, this is what I got. So I've kind of got a mix over here. And then interspersed between here, I've got kale seedlings. These little babies right here, all along there. Really making use of space. This is chard. It's a second planting. I've got some red onions, and my bok choy did not do good either. If it's not being eaten by something, they're stunted. So, yeah, bok choy is not great either. So that's pretty disappointing. So let's see. Okay, whoops, sorry. So bee balm is under here. Got my seedlings going. So I've got to actually water those, but I'm keeping them covered so that they don't burn up. If you can see, there we go. Some bee balm. So I have to keep those moist and covered, which is why they're underneath this this sun blocking tarp. Well, it's not a tarp, it's a frost thingy. So here we go. These are okra, which we kind of got tired of eating okra, so I just cut them down. And now they're just here. I'm just waiting for cold weather to kill them. There's a couple of turnips that are down here along the base that I planted before I put them into the bed. And they're doing all right, but again, it was too hot and I lost a lot of seedlings. So the sun's in the way. Okay, let me go over here. Perfect. So here we have my red curry. I still have some. I got one on here. I've already picked one. There's another. And then I've got one here. And the vine is just now starting to turn yellow because it got pretty cold the night before. So we'll have these nice little winter squash to have them all nice and cured up for winter storage. And then here's our chard. Chard finally took off, and yeah, it looks great. I love it flowering down here along with the phlox. Got some flowers going. And so this bed, I went ahead and cut down my dahlias. Only one dahlia plant, well, two came up, and one only made it to flower. So that was disappointing as well because I bought 4 of them and only one flowered. So now this bed is just full. I'm going to see if the other dahlia is going to come back up. And then we have our creeping phlox along the base here. When that spreads out, it's going to be so pretty, especially when it blooms. It just looks like snow. And my transplanted lavender is still doing well. I know it looks a little bad, but it'll, once I trim it a little bit, it'll look even better come spring. So, all right, check this out. This is the volunteer Okinawa blue sweet potato bed. It just volunteered. So I'm going to have to come out here and pull this. I'm waiting for it to get a little bit drier before I start, but maybe I'll do that this weekend if it doesn't rain. So tubers are maybe ready in there, who knows. This is my, let me think, Murakami sweet potatoes in here, and in here we have our Korean sweet potatoes. So I ordered the Murakamis, the blue sweet potatoes volunteered, and then I self-grew these Korean sweet potatoes. So it'll be interesting to see. I haven't grown any of these in grow bags. So it definitely will be interesting. So when we come down here, as you guys can see, I got rid of the compost bin. And why did I get rid of the compost bin is because I did not have enough compost to justify having 2 full bins. So hubby's gonna build me just one, and I think one will actually be enough. And yeah, so over here we had some volunteer tomatoes. As you can see, yeah, I know it looks a little gross. So there's probably going to be volunteer tomatoes all in here for next year. Yeah, growing in and around the asparagus. Now, the asparagus doesn't look like it's ready to be trimmed yet. I kind of want it to be just dry and straw-like. But as soon as it gets cold enough, I'm going to just level these. Yeah, just level them. And then I usually use the straw as mulch around the bases. But we had just some kind of crazy creeping weed get in there. And guys, it has just been a fight, a desperate fight to control weeds in this enormous, it's been so hot. So this is the fall garden. I wish it looked a little better, but it's my idea of how I want it to look is not quite how it looks right now, and it's driving me a little bit crazy. I like my garden to be aesthetically pleasing, and I just like it to be a place that's comfortable. And honestly, it's been so hot and miserable that I haven't been enjoying it. And this is my sanctuary. I'm supposed to enjoy gardening. So leave a comment. Let me know if you've been struggling. Have you ever thrown your hands up and been like, you know what, I don't even want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to garden anymore. I'm gonna, or just take a break. Have you taken a break? Have you become so frustrated sometimes with the state of affairs that you just don't even want to garden anymore? I haven't gotten that far, but definitely during the summer I was over it. But a part of me just won't quit because, the way things are going, it's best to grow your own food if you can. You just never know the state of affairs. And anyway, I won't get into politics, but I will just say it behooves you, if you can, to grow your own food just for your health, for your peace of mind, and just to be able to take care of your family. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tour. Let me know how you're doing. I'll try not to be away for so long, and I'll keep you posted as I do updates. And be well and be blessed, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.